Okay, so what we're going to do is a favorite recipe of ours, dessert called cherries clafoutis. In fact, you could use a lot of different berries with this, not just cherries, but since it's summertime here in Washington, we've got these huge and lovely Bing cherries. So we're going to put those into a really easy dish. What we're going to do is, first of all, take care of the cherries. I have taken the liberty of pre-pitting a whole bunch of them. You actually don't have to pit them, but if you'd like your friends and relatives to keep all their teeth, it's probably a good idea to take the pits out. This is a handy dandy cherry pitter, which is specific for this job, but it's not absolutely necessary. You could pick them out with a knife, or you could just cut them in half very easily and pull the knife out. This thing, though, is really fun, and it's another fun gadget that your kids will love using if they don't splatter the whole kitchen with cherry juice. Do your friends and family a favor, and if you make this more than once, use a variety. Use raspberries, use blueberries, you could use plums cut in half. It's delicious with a lot of different kinds of fruits, especially summer fruits. That seems to be the best way to sort of have a nice contrast with the nice eggy interior. Okay, I have this little stick just in case, my little handy dandy chopstick to push out any ones that got lost, but they all came out really easily, so that's all set. Watch that cherry juice because it's kind of a stainy one. All right, so to get the cherries ready to go in this clafoutis, we're going to actually pre-cook them a little bit. I'm going to put them in this pan, just any kind of a flat pan that you can stick in the oven, and I warmed the oven up to 425, and we're going to put these into the oven. Oh, before we put them in the oven, forgot. We got to season them just a little bit with some really good stuff. We're going to add a tablespoon of Kirschwasser, which is a German cherry liqueur. You can use cherry eau de vie or anything like that you can actually find around here pretty easily. I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of Kirschwasser, which means cherry water, but it's a little stronger than water. So we're going to put some of that in there, along with a tablespoon of sugar. Just going to put a rough bit in here. And I'm just going to dissolve the sugar in the Kirschwasser. And then this is going to be spread over the cherries. So when they bake in the oven, they're going to have this really nice sort of sweet, alcohol-y stuff, and it'll all cook off in the oven. So it's really, really easy. There's a funny story about Kirschwasser. My grandfather is German, and we went back to visit some of his family in southern Germany for his 80th birthday. We went to visit some of the relatives who live in southern Germany and have a lot of cherry trees. And we couldn't find this one cousin who was about 75 years old. So we looked up about 30 feet in the cherry tree, and there she was picking cherries that then went to the back of the barn where the still was, and they made their own Kirschwasser. And as an 18-year-old, I thought this was really going to be exciting, but we could barely drink this stuff. It was so strong. So it was pretty funny, though. 70-year-old up in the cherry tree picking cherries for the family still. Okay, so those guys are ready to go. We're going to put these in the oven at 425 for about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to take 2 eggs, very carefully, and we'll just mix these up. We're going to get these nice and frothy, and this is going to be the nice egg mixture that goes around the cherries. Okay, 2 eggs in. We're going to use the hand blender on these because these we want to get nice and frothy. So we're going to use this handy dandy hand mixer over here. So, okay, pretty cool. Just a single thing. And away we go. Wow, that's exciting. So again, these are going to beat until they're pretty frothy all the way down, and then we'll mix in the sugar. This is another one my kids love making with their grandmother because it was a lot of fun. They were always, machinery was fun. So our kids loved working with the mixer. Okay, let's put that to the side, and we're going to put in, just double check the amounts. Okay, we're going to put in 1/2 cup of regular sugar. Okay, mix that into the eggs. Okay. We'll beat this a little bit, keep that together. Woo! Let's go on smaller. Not quite so crazy. Really just blending this in. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get a little spatula here and we'll make sure we get all the sugar down in there. Okay, it doesn't look like a lot, but we've got a few more things to add. We are going to add some milk and some creme fraiche. So 1/3 cup of milk. I'm using whole milk for this because it really needs to set. So whole milk's a little easier and better than the skim milk or 2%. So 1/3 cup of whole milk and about the same of creme fraiche. Creme fraiche is sometimes hard to find, but if you look hard in the grocery store these days, it's actually not that hard to find. You could substitute sour cream mixed with a little heavy cream because it really is like, it's probably in the sour cream section of your grocery store. So they do have it even at our local sort of mass drugstore. So I'm going to put in 6 tablespoons of this. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, the quantities are all sort of estimates. It doesn't have to be super exact, but getting it close will help. Okay. Ooh, all that good gooey stuff together. Then we're just going to mix this together. This is going to be going on the inside with the cherries. Good. Okay. All right, little guys. All right, let's double check. So we've got the kirsch, we've got the sugar, the eggs, everybody. Okay, so let's go check on the cherries and see how they're doing. They should be almost finished. So, yeah, perfect. Okay. They're starting to soften a bit. You can see them sort of relaxing, the juice popping out. So I'm going to close the oven now and I'm going to turn the oven down to 350. Okay. So that's great. All right, so these guys are nice and hot. I'm going to let it cool here for just a second. We'll finish up the batter, which needs another tablespoon of kirsch or cherry eau de vie or something else tasty in the cupboard. There we go. Okay, so that's great. Let's mix that around. Seems to be separating a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay. And before we put the rest of this stuff in, we're going to give it a little bit of butter just to help get it out when we're ready to eat it. So I'm going to take the butter paper that was on the butter before, so it's really easy just to kind of take a little tiny bit of butter, spread it around. It'll just help it release when it's time for us to eat. So that's all set. Okay. Now we're going to put the cherries into the pan. Again, be careful. Remember, this is hot. If they have released a lot of juice, you could always drain the fruit, put the fruit in, and then add in a little bit of the juice to your quiche later. You don't want it too super juicy all at once, but don't lose the juice. You could use it for a lot of different things. Let's get another spoon. Whoops, run away cherries. Okay, in they go. The other thing you want is probably just one layer of fruit is good, because this is a fairly shallow dish. You want the egg mixture to be able to get around and on top of everyone. If you do find you have a few too many cherries, that's not a problem. I'm sure someone will eat them. But if you squish them down, come on guys, y'all fit in there. Yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, there we go, that's good. Nice and full. And then we'll add in the mixture. So, egg mixture all around. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So it may cover things, it may not. Again, depending on the size of the dish. If you find you have more egg batter than you have room, you can always try putting most of it in, cooking it for 5 minutes, pulling the pan back out and adding the rest of the egg mixture, and it'll just all cook in together. So that'll be easy. Okay, so we've got that down to 325. This is ready to go back in. I'm going to, actually, let's see. Yep, I'll put a little dusting of sugar on it when it's finished. But right now we're going to put it into the oven. This is going to bake for about 35 to 40 minutes so it can set fully. Ooh, there we go. Okay, 35 minutes. We'll come back and check. I think the cherries are finally finished. Cooking up? Yeah. So here we go. Let's pull it out carefully. It is full. It is juicy. And it's very hot. So, oh, it smells delicious. Okay, so this guy took about 45 minutes to cook, and yours also might vary depending on the girth of your cherries. These were rather juicy, big guys. So it took them a little while to cook, but you can see it's nice and golden brown. And before we serve it up, we're just going to dust it with a little bit of superfine sugar just to give it a little bit of a nice finish. A little bit of crusty, beautiful, sugary crispiness to it. So, just, I don't know, a tablespoon, maybe 2, if you feel like it. Voila. So that's it.